With great pleasure, I welcome you all back to yet another interesting conversation in our Industry Expert series. Our guest for today is Mr. Ravikanth, the Chief Operating Officer of Logistics Sector Skill Council. Logistics Sector Skill Council was established under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship to develop skill trained and upskill the workforce as per the industry requirements. And what better than hearing from the man who laid the foundation of this journey as the first employee of LSC. In the last 8 years, Mr. Ravikanth has led the organization towards great growth with a strong team of 80 members. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Shivaranjani. Thanks a lot for inviting me to share my insights on Logistics Sector Skill Council. We are associated, or rather BSLS is associated with LSE since 2017. And I think we had a very great journey in terms of, skilling manpower in logistics. Thank you once again.
Sure, sir. So to begin with, I would really love to know your journey so far and how did you become a part of LSE?
Right. I'm a postgraduate in MBA in marketing and HR. Post that, I started off my career with timeshare, which is Club Mahindra Holidays. And then I had a little bit of a stint in the call center background as well. So that has taken me to DHL because I've done my internship in Sutherland as a call center executive. And then that's when I got an opportunity to get into DHL as a call center executive. So I started off my career from the bottom of the pyramid. So I started as a call center executive in DHL. 14 months I was promoted as a to the customer care to handle the escalations. Post that, I was promoted as a trainer, and by the time the last role that I served in DHL was a country champion for a specialized program in DHL Express. So 2014 is when I joined Logistics Sector Skill Council as a head training and assessment. So it was a great journey of 8 years in LSE, a lot of exposure, a lot of learnings, a lot of project implementation experience is what I've gained. When I joined, it was only a team of 3. In fact, I was employee number 1 for LSE, and then it started off that way, and we are 79 today. And then with a team of about roughly about 3,000 odd training partners, trainers, and assessors and assessment partners on pan-India basis. So this is, in short, the journey in right from of my career.
So very interesting to know. Quite an impressive journey, like you said, started from the bottom of the pyramid, and now here you are. Right, yeah. Sir. Sir, so all of us know that logistics as such has been an industry that's been neglected for a long time. Yeah. But with changing times, surely things are looking brighter. So I would like to know from you some of the key initiatives that the LSE has taken up over the years in the industry to bridge the gap, sir.
Yeah, as you rightly said, Shivaranjani, yes, it was a neglected sector because, since independence, there was nothing on the logistics. There were no courses in the schools. There were no courses in the colleges. Or rather, there were only diploma courses, offered in the supply chain, but not, into the sector as it was required. So that's something that we wanted to change when we set this council up. And then a lot of changes have taken place. Because now we have basically started off with the short-term skilling programs in logistics. Rather, I would say we have started the skilling in job role per se, like on the courier delivery executive or warehouse picker or packer sort of. But then of late we realized that India is not a country, because we were sort of adopting the European Union guidelines on skilling in India, because they have already mastered that in the Western world. Rather, we have realized at a later point of time that India doesn't have that sort of an individual job role approach. Rather, it's a multi skilling approach that we'll have to take, because it's a norm in India. Because a person who joins a warehouse does the picking, packing, pinning, kitting, labeling, etc. So we cannot skill people only on an individual job role per se. So We later on rationalized all the job roles and we have started off the skilling, and we have skilled about 3 lakh people at this point of time since
Wow.
inception. So that's on the short-term skilling. And now that we have realized that the reason was, since this sector was ignored since independence, logistics job roles didn't have the right dignity of labor, right?
Right.
Even the drivers, are exploited in our country because of the fact that there's no dignity of labor for the drivers. So we would want to have this streamlined, and the only way that we can put this in order is to start off the educational programs in logistics in a very formal manner, and that's how we can bring in the dignity of labor, is what we thought. And very successfully we have started off the education programs right from the school level till the masters. Now we have all the programs right, starting from the school level. There we have logistics literacy program for the 6th, 7th, and 8th standards. We have a little advanced programs for the 9th and 11th standard students, followed by degree apprenticeship program, which is launched for the graduation. And that's a very interesting program, and that's been launched for the first time in the country. And I'm very happy to inform that whatever we have framed in terms of the structure of the program has become the policy in the new education policy 2020. So this is
Wow.
nothing but the degree apprenticeship, where the students would, it is something like earn while you learn.
Right.
So of the 3 years and 6 semesters that the graduates pursue, 50% of the semesters would be at the academic institution, and 50% would be at the industry level, where they would be doing apprenticeship and the National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme. So even before the students are completing their graduation, they're already employed by the employees where they have performed the apprenticeship. So that's something about the graduate programs that we have. We offer 7 programs on the BBA front, and BMS. So BMS is nothing but Bachelor of Management Studies, and we offer that on a subsector level, which is on, say, like transportation, freight forwarding, warehousing, etc., etc. Post that, we have also thought that while the logistics industry is taking a substantial change in terms of
Yes.
transforming itself into the digitization part of it, and there's a lot of technology induced into logistics, like most of the warehouses will become automated possibly in the next 5 to 10 years. So we have also launched logistics technology courses in the polytechnics and diploma. And very recently, for the first time in the country, this nomenclature has been used in India, which is MS. We have started off a course, and it's already been offered to one of the colleges. MS is nothing but it's in the data science and supply chain analytics. So that's the course that we have started, and we are very soon planning to start off a PhD program in logistics as well.
Wow.
So that has covered the entire educational sector.
Yes.
So that's the change that we have brought in, and I think the most neglected sector, which is the most important sector, would gain the importance as and when we go on in the future.
I'm sure, sir, with such great initiatives, I'm sure the future is all bright. Sir,
Yeah.
in line with what you just said about the education and the initiatives that you have taken in the education sector, so what changes do you think your partners, such as educational institutions who are running the programs for you, should make in order to achieve LSC's objectives?
That's a very good question, Shivaranjani, because one of the biggest challenges that we are facing right now in introducing all these courses and trying to streamline them is the lack of the right faculty. So that's been the biggest challenge right now, because educational institutions have got faculty, but they're not specialized in logistics because there was nothing offered in education in the past. So we had one of the biggest challenge in terms of doing a faculty development program. However, logistics is an ocean. You cannot learn logistics possibly in 2 months or 2 days or 6 months. It's out of experience that you learn logistics. So having this faculty development program and training them on logistics for about possibly a week's time might not bring in the right result. So the educational institutions also should have it in mind that while they recruit, there are certain rules and regulations which have to be relaxed in terms of recruiting the people from industry, having industry experience and are inclined to get into academic arena is what they have to look at. So that's one big challenge that we have got. The second biggest challenge that we have got with the institutions is lack of industry connect. So it's just that they're running the courses not having the practical aspect in mind and only concentrating about the theory, which would not make the candidate employable, or would rather give a qualification. So that's something that we are looking at, where the colleges or the educational institutions or any other training partners for that matter should have the right connect with the industry, because only when the industry and the partners work together, I think the outcome would be relevant in terms of what we are trying to achieve.
Yes, absolutely agree, sir. Absolutely agree. So my next question is, with all these efforts that are being put in and the initiatives that the LSE has taken, how do you think the industry is shaping up in the future, sir?
See, one of the major aspects that I would say that what we are trying to change is, we all got into logistics, or rather 95 to 98% of the people who are working in the logistics sector right now, we have all joined the logistics sector by opportunity and not by choice. It's just that we got a job and by accident, we have all taken up this as our career.
Right.
However, we would want to change that aspect of giving this career in logistics. When it comes by choice and not by opportunity, then the industry is going to benefit by and large, because you want to get people who have gone through the courses of logistics, who knows logistics, and so there is a lot of scope for improvisation in the sector, because as such the current the cost of logistics in India is 13 to 14% vis-a-vis 6 to 9%, which is the world's average. With the national logistics policy, which is at a draft stage right now, wherein the cost of logistics has to be brought down by 9%, which is the plan. I think this is one of the aspects which will contribute, where we give the right people who are skilled in the logistics sector and are employed in the logistics sector, will bring in more efficiency, will bring in more improvisations, will add to the reduction of the cost. So these are some of the things which the industry can expect in the future, because we are now trying to create a pool of logisticians, as the word that I can use. Currently, we have about 3 lakh people who are trained and 700 people who are qualified formally in the education in the BBA logistics division.
Lovely, sir. Very beautifully you said it. Make people choose the industry by providing them the choice, and not just because it has an opportunity and you get along with it. Sure, sir. And I think once you make that decision by choice, you're going to give in your 100%, and ultimately it's going to reap the benefits.
Absolutely.
Oh, lovely, sir. Lovely. Sir, of course, I'm sure there are many discussions that are happening in LSE about new initiatives or new policies that should be brought in line, focusing towards the growth or the change in the industry. So would you be able to share or throw some light on what are some of the key reforms or initiatives that we can expect for the logistic industry, sir?
As I told you, on the education front, that's already explained, by and large. So one more initiative which the government is trying to drive it rigorously is the apprenticeship, because as per the 1961 policy on apprenticeship, which was modified in 2014, till 2014 it was only confined to the manufacturing, where you need to have apprentices in the manufacturing sector. But in 2014 it was revised, and then it was also extended to the services sector. So something which the industry would be much interested to know on the facts of apprenticeship is that you need to have 2% of your workforce as apprentices, which is mandatory as per the labor law. The 2% of the employees is taken into consideration on the total strength of your employees in the organization, including your contract labor, your seasonal labor, and all such, which the industry is not aware. So we are trying to propagate that, so that the industry knows this, and you can also extend that to 15% from the 2%, because why any company would extend it to 15% is because the government is promoting that with certain benefits, which can be known if you log into the right website, which talks about National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, NAPS in short.
Right.
So this is the website which tells about all the benefits. So through this apprenticeship, what exactly happens is, whatever I told about the opportunity, a career by choice and not by opportunity,
Yes.
exactly happening through apprenticeship. Because to qualify as an apprentice, you need to get trained on the nuances of that sector, and you need to get qualified for apprenticeship. You need to perform the apprenticeship for 1 year in any organization. Post that, you choose your career options. So that's something that we are trying to drive as well from our end. And as of now, we have about 10,000 apprentices employed across the country in different organizations, and we are slowly trying to penetrate to all the organizations. That's one thing that we are trying to drive. The second reform that we would want to bring in is bring in the transnational equivalence for the logistics sector opportunities and employment opportunities. Because while we have a great advantage of the demographic dividend and having the large number of youth and wanting to become the human capital of the world,
yes,
I think we need to be prepared in terms of qualifying our youth to work abroad in the same job roles as they work in India. Like a commercial vehicle driver who works in India might not qualify for a commercial vehicle driver in the US or Canada for just one simple reason, is that it's left hand and right hand right. So we need to establish certain centers and specifically qualify these youth to get qualified to work in other states. So this is the second thing that we are focusing on. The third thing that we are focusing on is trying to get the industry convinced that skilled workforce is going to add advantage. Because now India has got a skilled workforce where, say for example, if you take Tamil Nadu into consideration, a lot of people working in Tamil Nadu are either from Bihar or Odisha. Because the people of Tamil Nadu maybe or Kerala might not be willing to work in those job roles of warehouse pickers and packers. That's what we have witnessed all this while. So we need to skill these people and ensure that we bring in dignity of labor, so that when the employer employs this skilled workforce, there's a little bit of differentiation which is visibly offered to the skilled workforce, so that there's dignity of labor coming in, and not matching myself with a person coming and working from Bihar or Orissa without having a skill certificate and me having a skill certificate. So that's something that we are trying to drive, and I hope it will take time, but we'll be successful in educating the companies on that.
Lovely, sir. So small steps, but then surely marching towards great and a bright future ahead.
Yep.
So my next question is, so can you share some insights on the LSE certificate, its validity, and how is it beneficial for youngsters who are looking at launching a career in logistics?
All right. So this is something that I always talk about whenever I've been called to talk to students in various colleges and various training institutions. So this certificate has got a lot of relevance because this is a certificate issued by Government of India, which comes with a national emblem. So which means it's got the requisite importance and validity. So the certificate has also got transnational equivalence in 7 different countries, where the candidates having this certificate are eligible to work in these 7 countries. Number 3, the certificate is qualified on something called as NSQF, which is National Skill Qualification Framework. So this National Skill Qualification Framework is nothing but, it's a very complex theory. However, to just make you understand what NSQF in very simple terms is, what is a skill that you have got in the vocational arena. Because in India, you get the qualification based on the academic degree, but then what is the skill level that you've got? Say, for example, there's a plumber who is just joined. So he's got certain skill level, and a plumber who has been working for about, say, 10 years, he's got certain skill level. So we need to give that qualification accordingly. So NSQF is nothing but a qualification which is offered for the skill that you possess. So there are different levels of the skill, starting from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. So any candidate who undergoes this skill certification will get a certificate on the NSQF level. How this NSQF level is going to give you advantage is because it's equated with the academic qualification as well. So for example, I'm an 8th standard commercial vehicle driver, a dropout from school. However, if I get qualified on level 4, for example, on the commercial vehicle driving, which means I've got the level 4 skilling in driving, wherein I get qualified, I am equated to the academic degree of 12th standard, which means I can go and pursue my graduation with this certificate. So that's the importance that this certificate has got. And more so that, as I told you, that we are driving the concept of the employers recruiting skilled manpower. Possibly in the future, you will definitely have, I wouldn't say a big line of difference, but at least a thin line of difference in terms of why somebody is recruiting you versus why somebody is recruiting an unskilled person. So that's for sure is going to happen, and that's something that we are driving. So these are the advantages of having a certificate.
Oh, nice, sir. Great to know, sir. And so finally, as BSLS, we are absolutely honored for our association with LSE over the years. So would you like to share some of your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I think Jayashree, who's running BSLS, I think she had a great journey in terms of, because I've seen her when she started off BSLS and what BSLS is now. I think it was a very great journey, and it's taken off very well. One of the strong reasons why BSLS or any other school of logistics have taken off is because now people have realized that unlike it was before, that you study anything and you would want to become a software engineer, people not knowing what career options are available in logistics. I think now the exposure on the career in logistics, which BSLS has also promulgated it properly to the student community. I think there's a lot of scope for more improvement in times to come. And I think BSLS is doing a great job. And there are a lot of success stories I go through your channels, and it's heartening to hear that people who have who are not able to secure a job by having it studying 12 years and having a 12 plus 3 and having a qualification, not able to find a job, and having a qualification after studying for 3 to 6 months of course and getting a job, and that talks tons about what BSLS is doing. So I think it's a great job. The thought of setting up the logistics school of shipping itself is commendable, and all the best for BSLS in the future as well.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your wonderful words. And sir, on behalf of BSLS, I would like to thank you for taking time out and interacting with us and sharing such great insights about LSE's initiatives and the future. I'm sure with all our efforts put together, we can clearly look at a bright side, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.